may look like a rich, creamy dessert that took all day to make. And they are rich and creamy, but they sure didn't take all day. These are seriously the easiest dessert that I've made all year. It only takes 3 ingredients and it's got a total cheat day energy, but with 0 of the guilt. And here's the kicker, there's no baking, there's no fancy tools. And yeah, I'm gonna show you exactly how I took these and turned it into those. So you're gonna know exactly how to whip up something that may look like it took hours, but it took about 5 minutes and a freezer. And at the end, I got a few other tips and tricks if you want to kick it up to another level. Stick around. The first ingredient for this dessert is some yogurt. I'm going to use some El Ruderai yogurt that I've made up. You could use either El Ruderai yogurt, you could use SIBO yogurt, or if you don't have either one and you don't make your own yogurt, just get a full-fat Greek yogurt. I know a lot of times I'll use a low-fat yogurt for the texture, but in this you want the full-fat version. It's going to take 2 cups of it for this recipe. So I got my 2 cups of yogurt and I got Old Yeller. So into Old Yeller goes the yogurt. I mean, look how thick and rich this stuff is. If you hadn't made this stuff, you really need to. Not only does it taste great and is super rich and thick, but it's great for your gut also. The next ingredient is super simple. And you've already seen what they are because I had them in my hands. You're gonna need some fresh strawberries. You're gonna need a cup of these. All I'm gonna do to prep them is just cut the tip off and it's ready to go. I'll run through these and I'll be right back to show you what to do next. So now that all the greenery is off the strawberries, I'm just gonna put them in a separate container that I can fit my immersion blender in. So we're gonna use the immersion blender to kind of chop these down into some nice liquidy goodness. Now I know some of you are thinking, well, why are you using a separate container for that? Well, it's very simple. If you're using Greek yogurt, you could probably throw everything in together and immersion blend it, but the heat from the immersion blender kills the bacteria in El Ruderai or the SIBO yogurt. So I want all the great gut benefits plus a delicious dessert. Store-bought Greek yogurt, there's not really many benefits to it anyway, so feel free to use one container if you want to. So I'll blend these up. I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. I mean, I could eat this just like that with a spoon, but since I'm making a video about these, I guess I'll hold off. Now what you want is 1 cup after you've blended them. So I'm gonna get more berries and immersion blend until I reach 1 cup. Now I'm just gonna pour my cup of strawberries right into this yogurt. Give that a good mix. Now you can mix it up all together if you want to. You can kind of leave it a little bit like this if you want like a cool swirl in it. And if you've been following along, you know that's only 2 ingredients. We got 1 to go. So what's that? Allulose. Now the reason I'm using allulose and not another sweetener is because allulose helps all your frozen stuff stay a little bit softer when it's in the freezer. You know, that's the sweetener I use in my frozen yogurt, my ice cream, and everything like that. It just really helps to make sure it doesn't freeze up on you. So I'm going in with a 1/4 cup of allulose. I'm gonna give that a good mix through. And at this point, you're gonna wanna taste it because after this, there's no turning back. So if you wanna give it a little taste here, make sure it's sweet enough for your liking. It's not for mine. I'm gonna go in with about another 1/4 cup. But now I know some of y'all don't like things as sweet as I do. You raised down here in the South, you put sugar in everything, so that's just what I'm used to. And of course now I'm not using sugar, but I still like that sweet taste. And allulose is also the only sweetener that's not only natural, but it also will lower your blood sugar. So that's a pretty nice added benefit to this. So you got the gut health, you got lowered blood sugar, and you got delicious. I mean, that's the trifecta right there. And now all I got to do is pour it into this silicone muffin pan. I use these for a lot of different things, and I'll put links down below to everything I use in this video and any of the other videos I do. So I'm just going to pour these out, and I'll be right back to show you what to do next. And as usual, I forgot to get a pan. You get this silicone, you got to put a pan under it or you're not going to be able to freeze it flat in the freezer. So let me grab that. I tell you, one day I'm going to learn. but it ain't today. And you know, if you forget, you got a little bit to clean up, AKA taste. I'll pour these out and I'll be right back. So this is gonna make 10 of these if you like to fill them up as full as I do. Now, if you fill them up about 3/4 of the way, it'll make all 12 of these, but really what's the point? You got a dessert that lowers your blood sugar, fixes your gut health, and is delicious. Fill them all the way to the top. I'm gonna throw these in the freezer and I'll be back when they're set up. It's gonna be somewhere around a couple hours. I'll see you then. So after a couple hours, this is what we've got. Just gonna pop one of these bad boys out. It's nice and firm. You can still bite right into it. Now, if you want to kick these up to another level, there's a couple things I recommend. Number one, put some whole, fresh blueberries right in there before you freeze them. The other thing is, if you want to take a little more time, you can dice these strawberries up and put them in there in like little chunks. It just takes a little more work, and I'm all about the least amount of work, the better. That's why I did the immersion blender. Another thing you can do to kick it up to levels unknown is take about a 1/4 cup of no sugar added chocolate chips to a tablespoon of coconut oil. Melt that down, dip these in it, stick them back in the freezer, and after they've frozen, you got yourself an absolutely next level treat. Now, if you love strawberries and you want a killer strawberry dessert recipe, don't miss this video right over here. It is absolutely amazing.